Hello friends, this is just a short one today because it occurred to me that I'd like to know where my character lives, and I know she's here in the capital of Stormwind, but I don't know where. So I thought it'd be fun just to fly around and pick out a house. This is my favorite capital city. I just think it's beautiful. I liked it before Cataclysm. I liked it before Cataclysm. You couldn't fly, so a lot of this architecture didn't exist. It was pretty abbreviated. But then after, they made it so that you could fly over it, and they expanded it and added the harbor, and I just love it. I love that it's a city of canals. I love that it's on the water with waterfalls and has parks, and the architecture is clean and lovely, and there are trees everywhere and a giant cathedral. I think it's just great. I love this place. All right, so one of the other things I was thinking, okay, you can be on the water anywhere because there's so many canals, and I figure unlike a unmagical city, these canals are probably sweet smelling and do not contain garbage because you have mages. I would imagine the human city originally, it was all mages, maybe arcane mages, maybe ice mages, and just hired to do nothing but water management. Okay, keep this water clean, make sure there's nothing gross in it, get the garbage and the sewage out of it, keep it clean so that no one gets sick. I mean, that makes sense. If you have magicians, that would be a good use of their talents. And then after the Draenei showed up, and maybe the druids, also from the elves, maybe they participate. And so I imagine there's some team around here that lives here that all they do is manage the water, make sure it's clean and sweet. It must be because you get quests to fish things for food, and it would not be fishable for food if it was not sweet smelling and perfect. So I'm sure there's also a magical firefighting team, because that would be cool. Fire mages, maybe? People who are impervious to fire would be cool. All right, so I'm thinking this is the trade center. This is probably too busy for my priest. She likes to visit this part of town, but it's too bustling and too much going on. Now, it would be a great place for, say, a guild to have their guild house in this location. I think it would be smart because there's lots of places you can repair. There's the auction house and the bank. Very convenient for all the members of the guild. If they just want to sack out and wake up and do errands, that would be perfect. I do not want to live near the prison. That seems like asking for trouble. I love the mage quarter. It is full of beautiful ivy-covered buildings. I like the tower because it's convenient for travel, but on the other hand, it means there's lots of travelers coming in and out, and I'm not sure I want to be around a major nexus for travel. So, no, don't think so. So the obvious place for a priest to live would be in the cathedral square. But if you go in the cathedral square, which has a nice fountain, you'll discover there's a lot of public buildings, like there's a town hall and an orphanage and places where you do business. And I don't think of it as a place that has, I mean, there are apartments up here. Are there shadows? Look, there are shadows of people in this one. And this one has shadows of what looks like a table. But I just don't see her living right in the middle of it's just too official. Even though, if you turn around and come around this side, excuse me, I'll fly through the tree here. There's some nice waterfront property here. I don't know who these people are. They look like they don't mean well. Okay. And this beautiful lake, which there's a fisherman around here who comes out and fishes all the time. Also cemetery, so kind of, on one hand, I don't want to say depressing, sobering. And on the other hand, in a magical world, you have to worry about ghosts and ghouls, and I don't love that idea. But I do like these little fringe areas. Look at this. Look at this cool house that has 2 levels, and one level is above the other on the hill. It's very cool. I like this architecture. Anyway, and this courtyard fountain is really cool. But this is a guardhouse, this part. So I don't imagine that you can live around here. Look, it's even got cannons. So not really feeling the cathedral square, and I don't love the dwarven quarter, because the dwarven quarter is full of people doing dwarfy things. So it looks like it would be busy and noisy and full of carousers and the clink of multiple blacksmiths and stuff like that. So, and as you notice, it's kind of smoggy. This is the castle. And this is Old Town. Old Town is a little bit sequestered, which is kind of nice. But I don't think she would be this far away from the fray. So my guess is that one of these little interstitial areas would be best. Like, okay, not near the prison. Maybe, I don't know, maybe one of these corners over here, facing the canal? Or, I do like the water. Is there one here facing the water? This would be a nice place to live over here, see? Because you've got this park, and then this nice view of the memorial and the water. You could wake up to that every day. That would be great. Or maybe one of these little houses over here that's on the park side, if this was actually a house. I think that would be nice. I don't know. Where would you live, I wonder? Now, if I had to place the, I can't call it a guild, her group of proteges must have like a chapter house. And if I had to place a chapter house, I would put it outside here, because 3 of them are into nature. Only one of them is into city life. So I think this would be a great place to have a little chapter house, and I imagine it looking like this ambassadorial area. Someplace people can sleep and just go up the hill right directly into the city. But you'd also be by the water and have some trees. The hunter would have a place for her pets to run around. And the druid would be able to commune with these nature things over here. I think that would be nice. And I do like this waterfall area. It's really pretty. I think the other possibility would be, if you go past the keep, where the castle is, there's a slope up here. And I think one of these little valleys overlooking the city might be nice. Boy, they have a nice view in the castle, don't they? But, you know, if you went to one of these valleys and built a nice pretty place here in the valley, and, oh, it's raining. And then you would be able to overlook the city and not actually be in it. But if you have a flying mount, you could just take off in the morning for your commute. This is also a nice canal area, and it's not built up, of course, because it's for royalty. But you can imagine maybe being able to request some land there if you're an important enough group of people. So, yeah, that's my thing. Where would you live if you lived in Stormwind? And I think the answer is on one of these canals in between sections of the city. And that would be cool. So, yeah, I'm going to park her on this corner. And I often park on this corner, so I wonder if this is maybe the corner I would like. Look, you have a view of the sea from here and all the trees in the mage quarter. Of course, the prison's there, but still a nice view. Anyway, so that was my thing for today, is the question, where would you live if you lived in Azeroth? And for me, it's somewhere in Stormwind. You should let me know where you would live, because that would be cool. All right, I'll see you next time. I'm going to be doing, I think, Northrend stuff. We'll see what happens next. Bye for now.